But
Absolutely.
if someone goes through a divorce, if they have concerns like, well, hey, will I be able to buy a home? What are some of the things that they should be thinking about as they're approaching that?
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to what we were talking about earlier with what your income and your work history is, it really impacts your decision on whether you want to keep the home because you've already been qualified for a mortgage by yourself or with your spouse, or if you're in a position to get out of that property and potentially get into another one. So for the clients that might have only worked part-time and they weren't really the breadwinner during the marriage, they might not be able to qualify for a mortgage. So things like what's their credit, what's their income, those are going to be huge factors for them to figure out if they are able to get out of that property and get into something else. And a lot of times what I've seen when someone's receiving alimony in a divorce case and they might not have a huge income, maybe they are only making minimum wage or something, and then the supplement to support them is that they're receiving the alimony. They go to qualify for a mortgage post-divorce, and the bank, the lender, they're going to want a pretty long history of that person receiving the alimony payments before they let that person qualify, because they're really relying on a third party to pay that person applying for the mortgage, and they want to have a history and record of that person receiving the income, because otherwise they're only going in to qualify at that low wage and the bank might not approve them. So it's definitely something to speak with both a family law attorney and a realtor about while you're going through that situation, so that you don't make a decision without thinking about the future and then wind up out of the property you were living in and then unable to get anything and you're stuck renting for a few years.
Okay. Well, a lot of good information. And I know, from friends and family and, people that I know that when someone is going through a divorce, it can be such a challenging and painful and stressful time. So it's great that they have somebody that they can come talk to and figure things out and figure out their best interests.